pasta fagioli my style. We will need celery, granulated sugar, 1 large onion, 1 can of tomato sauce, 1 can of diced tomatoes, 3/4 teaspoon of thyme, a can of red kidney beans, some dried oregano, chicken broth, ground beef, carrots, garlic, pasta. We will also need salt and pepper, and we will need some olive oil, some parsley, some French bread to go with it. In a Dutch oven or a deep enough pan, you will add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You're going to add your ground beef. I'm using the leanest meat I can find. It's a 90-10 blend that I found. And we're going to go ahead and break it down in our pot, and we're going to brown it. I like to get mine really brown with the cooking time. We're going to add a teaspoon of salt. You're going to add salt to taste. And there's me. Some pepper, half a teaspoon of black pepper. And then you're going to incorporate it all. Like I said, you're going to brown your meat. Once the meat is browned, you're going to go ahead and make sure it dries out from all the water that the meat releases. And you will remove the meat from the pan. We have some guest appearances in the background. Don't mind them. Once you've removed all of the meat, you're going to add your shredded carrots, your diced onion, and your diced celery stalks. And we're going to saute them for about 5 to 8 minutes. You want them to get a little soft, but not too soft. I like using shredded carrots. You can dice them if you like. And I added a little bit more olive oil to this because it was a little dry at the bottom, and I need them to be nice and soft. Once your veggies have sweated down, we're going to go ahead and add in our garlic. That was 3 finely diced garlic cloves, as you can see. You can chop them as big or as small as you like. Go ahead and toss them in, give it a good stir. Once it's done and softened, we're going to add 1 box of chicken broth. That comes out to be 2 cups of chicken broth. And you're just going to squeeze that thing to make it all come out. You need all the broth that's inside the box. I usually purchase the low sodium. That way I can control how much salt I add to my food. Give it a quick stir. We're going to add 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. And I add a little bit of water to my can, or actually broth, to make sure I get all the tomato sauce out of it. And then we're going to add 1 15-ounce can of diced tomato, whatever brand you like. You're going to pour that into the pot as well. Again, make sure you get a pot that's big enough, and that way everything fits and you're not struggling like me. We're going to add half a cup of water. Stir it in. Give it another stir. All right. And now we are going to add in a 3/4 of a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of dried oregano, and 2 teaspoons of granulated sugar. And make sure you get all of your dry ingredients in there and give it a really good stir to combine all of the ingredients, and make sure you get them all the way down to the bottom of the pot so that we can go ahead and get the right flavors for this soup. Once combined, we're going to add our browned ground beef, and then you are going to give it another stir. And we will let this simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes on medium low heat. Make sure you incorporate it real well. In the meantime, in another pot, we're going to add a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to add some water to cook our pasta. All you're going to need is 1 cup of the pasta. In the meantime, open your cans of beans and go ahead and strain them. Cook your pasta. Once the water is boiling, add in 1 to 2 cups of the ditalini pasta, which is little round pastas, and cook them down. make sure you cook it al dente. In the meantime, we're gonna, once the soup actually has been simmering for about 15 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and add our beans, incorporate them real well. Don't add them in too early because they will overcook. And I add my pasta at the end. That was a cup of parsley as well.